recording the call. Good evening, ladies. Thank you so much for joining the call. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Zoe and I'm a fellow menopause sufferer. And I'm delighted to be delivering these calls on a monthly basis. And this is the first one of 2023. So I'm excited to be kicking it off in January. Start as we mean to go on, spreading the menopause word. So I'll give you a bit of background about myself a bit later. I just wanted to sort of talk briefly about menopause symptoms in general, just to start the call off really. Obviously there's loads and loads of symptoms that you can that people struggle with when they're going through the menopause, and one of the obvious things, you know, to help with those hormones declining and fluctuating obviously is HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. And whilst that can be really good and, you know, it suits lots of ladies, it will not replace the need for us to make lifestyle changes, you know, in order to improve our health and well-being. And that includes exercising as well. So improving our diet, nutrition, exercise, sleep and stress levels can have an effect on symptoms. So looking after our gut health is key, especially more so during the menopause. So other lifestyle changes to consider are reducing alcohol intake. I'm on dry January, so you know, I'm actually feeling really good, and I think that isn't, you know, that massively contributes. Reducing your sugar intake, eating a well-balanced diet, so making sure that you are getting all of the essential nutrients, macronutrients, so your proteins, your carbs and your healthy fats. And not skipping meals is key as well. So now I was going to at this point hand you over to Paula. Now Paula is the lady, but I don't think she's actually joined the call, and I don't think we've got Susie on either, have we? Susie's not on the call. Let me just make sure that she's not waiting to come in. Otherwise my
Susie is here.
Hello. Yeah.
She's iPad.
Oh, Susie, you're the iPad. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't recognise it was you. Sorry.
My laptop wasn't working. I had a last minute panic.
Oh, bless you. Okay. Well, if we go over to you first then, because yeah, I'm not quite sure where Paula is. I mean, she was supposed to come on the call, so I don't know whether she's been waylaid or, but anyway, let me hand over to Susie then. So Susie, obviously is a fellow menopause sufferer, and she decided to take the natural route and started taking our products. So can you perhaps give us a bit of your journey and tell us, you know, what, you know, how things were like for you before and how you're feeling now, Susie?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started out just wanting to lose a bit of weight. So I wanted to go onto the shakes and start that whole process. But then when I kind of asked more questions about my health and everything, and then I explained to Ree that I was having perimenopause symptoms, and I also suffer with arthritis as well. So there was lots of things going on at that point. I didn't feel well at all. And hot flushes and just really generally low mood, even to the point that I was on antidepressants for a while. So yeah, not feeling good at all. So it was recommended that I go onto the Omegas, which are brilliant. I love them. So they're absolutely fantastic. So I started taking them in September. I think it was towards the end of September. And long and they've just been fantastic. Within 2 months, the night sweats have just gone now. I can't remember the last time I had one, which is fantastic. The hot flashes, used to sit down to dinner and then all of a sudden it would come on, so I haven't had any of those anymore. And my mood is just lifted as well, and I've had lots of people comment on that, including my kids and my husband have all said how much more energy I've got, and just that I just seem like lighter, which is just amazing. So yeah, really good. No need for antidepressants or anything like that. So I'm just really pleased I found them. They've made a huge difference, which has been really good. And it was really frustrating because every time I go to the doctor, he'd just say, well, you're just too young. You're just too young to go through menopause. So it was like, oh, so I really struggled to find something that was going to work for me.
How old are you, Susie? Sorry, how old are you?
I'm almost 42 next month.
Yeah, so it is quite, yeah, I mean, you know, and actually I think a lot of people are finding this, aren't they, when they go to the doctors? You know, some women are going through this in their 30s.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I think they do these blood tests, and actually our hormones are fluctuating so much that the blood test comes back normal. So we're not in perimenopause according to the doctors. But
yeah, and I'm on the contraceptive pill as well, the combined pill. So they did a blood reading, which it does, because it's you're putting, you know, fake hormones into your body, aren't you? So
yeah,
and it was really frustrating. Even a nurse today that I saw was like, oh, you're very young, and it's just like, no. It doesn't mean you're not going through it though, doesn't it? It's really frustrating.
And I think the best way to do it really is to track your symptoms, you know, that way. You know, if you educate yourself with what is to be expected, track your symptoms, track your you know, your periods, and that way, you know, it pretty much gives you the picture, the pattern of what's going on, and actually that you are sort of in perimenopause. And in fact, I'm in the process of doing a course, and they've given me a document, a menopause journal. So if anybody would like that, it's great. It's you can track your symptoms through that. There's lots of information on there as well, which I've sent to lots of ladies. So, you know, if you'd like a copy of that, then, you know, please do reach out and ask for that. So I'm delighted to say that Paula has also joined us on the call. As you were chatting there, Susie, so welcome, Paula. Thank you for joining us. And oh, Susie, I'm so delighted for you. So you're managing your symptoms all naturally through through these vegan omegas. So I just thought I would, you know, give a bit of information about these, because obviously, you know, the omegas, there's a lot of omegas out there on the market, and probably a question that a lot of ladies ask me anyway is, you know, what is the difference? Why are ours so different to those out there in the market? And I mean, if you Google the you know, the input, sorry, the God, what's the word? I can't find my words tonight. What are the recommendations, you know, for omegas? And actually, there's so many benefits that they offer, not just for menopause, but it is a supplement that you know, people will recommend. And so ours are a rare blend of all 5 omegas, so they include all 5, which is 3, 5, 6, 7 and 9 omega fatty acids, and it bridges the gap with, you know, what we're not getting in our diet every day. And actually we do need these. This is something that we need to have in our diet, or we need to supplement it with this type of supplement. It can be taken alongside HRT. I've got lots of ladies that take this alongside HRT. So they are vegan, so no fishes were harmed in the process of making these. We go straight to the source, and that's the algae that the fish feed on. And our capsules are bioavailable, which means that the body recognises these. They're not synthetic like shop brought omegas, so they go straight into your bloodstream, they get stored, and then this is why we see so many great testimonials. And also they contain EPA and DHA. Now, they are the most common omega fatty acids, and ours contain the daily recommended amount. And actually, one interesting point as well is that people who suffer with anxiety and depression, they actually are known to have lower levels of EPA and DHA, which is why we see so many great testimonials of how these can help improve people suffering with anxiety and depression. Anxiety is such a huge common symptom going through the menopause. And also the EPA and DHA contribute to the maintenance of your brain, your eye and your heart health as well. So just a bit of information there. So now I was going to hand over to Paula. Paula has kindly agreed to come on and talk to us. She's a qualified fitness and yoga teacher, and she works specifically with women going through the menopause. So Paula, if you'd like to unmute yourself and tell us all about what you do and how you help ladies.
Hi, yeah, thanks for inviting me on. Fantastic. So I've been teaching yoga for quite a while. Selfishly, for my own reasons, going through menopause myself, I decided to look into it a lot more. Being a yoga instructor, I know how yoga can lower your cortisol levels, which is really important when you're menopausal. I mean, that's a lot of the reason you get weight gain is through higher cortisol levels. So I specialized in quite a lot of training through all the stages of menopause for yoga and for other fitnesses, because you've got to look at your fitness and your exercise completely different way. You've got to make sure if you do any exercise, you've got to be able to bring the parasympathetic nervous system back into the body to allow your cortisol levels to come down. So I do 4-week courses for women in any stage of menopause, whether it's premature menopause caused through surgery or medication. So we do a 4-week course of yoga classes twice a week. We have a Zoom meeting a bit like this one. It's about 2 hours, which includes a lovely restorative yoga class in it. So you can learn to really nourish your body and give back to it and just feel that tension in your body and clear the stress in your head, which helps you focus, helps you sleep. And by reducing all the in the blacks, and it teaches you to focus. So we do a lot of meditation work to help you de-stress. We also learn, so I do a lot of on the hormones and on HRT, and we discuss different things. So when you want to go into your doctor and they say, for instance, the lady that spoke before, you're too young, you can go through it. And most male doctors will prescribe antidepressants first thing before they do anything menopause. Of that knowledge, and that knowledge is such an empowering thing. It gives us control back, and that's what about the courses are for, to give you control back, not just with knowledge, but control of your body, so you reconnect. And we talk about everything, basically everything menopausal and that happens to go through it and sort through it. And we all talk together about our symptoms, how our day's gone, what's happened, and that sort of thing. We do sweaty pictures when you've done your workouts and that sort of thing. So pop the advert on the web, on the private Facebook page, and you know, you're more than welcome. The next course I think is starting on the 26th of this month. And it's great. So we have on the Facebook page, we have different subjects every single day to talk about. So you get to talk about all different things. And we also do nutrition. So it's everything included in there for you. So it's just, for me, I think power or knowledge, be able to use it and know where you stand and know that when you go to the doctors, you're not going to get pulled off, because you probably would actually know more than they do, which is amazing. Because most doctors, when I've gone in and I said, you know, I want body identical, topical HRT, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Most of them don't have a clue. So if you go in there with that knowledge and you try, you know, sort of, you can try your vaginal body identical, you know, and things like that, and testosterone and all of that, that most of these doctors don't even care about. If you've got that knowledge to be able to go in there and say, right, this is what I want to try, this is what I want to do, these are the symptoms I have, so that means I am perimenopausal or menopausal, so you get that control back. So that's basically what I teach you, and I teach you how to reconnect with the body. And for me, it's been a lifesaver, an absolute lifesaver. So there you are.
So are you on HRT, Paula? Do you take HRT?
I am. I didn't start with, and then I went on HRT because basically for the osteoporosis side, I have arthritis, and basically for the bone density and reducing the risk of the cancer. And it just made me feel hugely better. I used to suffer from night sweats, hot flushes, really bad headaches, bad skin, couldn't sleep, you know, and obviously being a fitness instructor and everything, then yeah, I mean, I'm on a lot of other things as well. So I really take into consideration vitamin B, vitamin D, all of that. So yeah, I am on HRT. And I think it, you know, the bad rep it got from the review years ago is so wrong on every aspect. So yeah, I am one of those, I think. And also testosterone is a huge thing. Everybody misses that out, but that is an absolute life changer as well, really.
But isn't testosterone something that that you have to get through a private clinic? They won't, that's not something you can get, or is that changed now?
No, you can have it off, you can have it off script. You can have it off script. So you can have some medication off script. So yeah, you can get a testosterone gel. You only use a pea-sized amount of it, and you can play about with the amount you use. So you might not, and you're not going to grow hair or anything like that. Testosterone is a hormone that is always thought of for men, but it's actually, women need it as well, desperately.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, thanks ever so much, Paul. I don't know if I know Paul is on a bit of a tight time schedule. I don't know if anybody's got any questions for Paula. If you wanted to ask Paula any questions, I mean, Paula can share her, you know, what she does with the yoga and stuff. You can share that in my group, Paul, if anybody wanted to jump on that or contact.
Yeah, I'll put the website on so they can read up about it on the website as well if they want to. That's fine.
Yeah,
all
but
right.
if anybody's got any questions tonight, obviously feel free to unmute yourself and ask Paula any questions. I'm sure she wouldn't mind answering. No?
No, you're all quiet.
You're all
That's
quiet
fine.
tonight, ladies. Are you all half asleep? Oh, Paula, you went all quiet then. I don't know if that was my end. Can anybody else hear Paula? I can't hear her. Hello? Okay, so I think Paula's actually gone, hasn't she? I think we've lost her. She's fine. Hope you all found that helpful, ladies. It's quite, I must admit, I've not something I've done before, yoga, but it all does sound very interesting and something worth considering for the future if you're not already doing it. So actually then I'll just come back to myself, because I was going to give you a bit of background on my story for those of you that don't know me. I mean, I actually, I'm not taking HRT, and it wasn't actually on offer to me when I was starting to notice all these horrible symptoms. In fact, I was told that it was in short supply, and that I should go out and source a natural product, and that's exactly what I did. And I've never felt the need to go on HRT because I found something. So I was suffering with the night sweats, the hot flushes, the not sleeping, the aches and pains, I'd been suffering with aches and pains probably for 6 years, and I didn't even know that that was a thing of menopause. You know, the weight gain, moody, irritable, just generally not feeling nice, really. And I remember just feeling really tired as well. I'd go to bed feeling tired. I couldn't sleep. I'd wake up knackered because I hadn't had a very good night's sleep. But my aches and pains were probably the worst. My neck, I used to see a sports therapist most months. Bad knee as well. And anyway, I found these omega capsules within 4 weeks. Oh my God, you know, all of that started to improve, mostly disappear. And so I do get the odd hot flush every now and again, and that's generally if my diet is poor. So if I have been drinking, or, you know, I've not been eating well and following a healthy diet. So again, you know, that's down to sort of diet and nutrition. So, you know, if you're watching this call and, you know, perhaps you're struggling, you've tried HRT, you can't try it, you can't have HRT, you're looking for a natural approach, then, you know, I can highly recommend, you know, our omega capsules. We have a product stories group that we have lots of testimonials in there. So if you're not already in there and would like to have a look at how the products have helped people, then you know, we can add you in there. And actually that, ladies, is pretty much it in a nutshell. Unless you've got any questions, we can have like a questions and answer section. Please, you know, feel free to ask away. Otherwise, I think, you know, we've sort of covered everything this evening. So has anybody got any questions, or anybody want to put any questions in the chat? If you'd rather not talk, that's fine. No problem. Otherwise, if anybody else wants to say anything or ask anything. Susie, have you got anything more to add, or?
No, it's been good. It's been really informative listening as well. Actually, it's nice that you're not on your own, and all your symptoms you were talking about, I'm like, yeah, I've had that. So yeah, it's nice to hear other people's stories, and that information on from Paula was really useful. So yeah, if we can put that would be great.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Okay, well, we'll close the call then, ladies. If nobody's got any more questions, I'll stop the recording, and I'll wish you all a good rest of your night.
Lovely, thank you.
Take care.